Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Autumn, and today we are going to be going over 10 prompts or exercises you can do when you don't know what to draw. As an artist, I have definitely dealt with my fair share of art block and lack of inspiration. In fact, being more of a business-minded artist personally, I find that I struggle to be creative a lot of the time. Deciding what to draw is often the most difficult part of the process. Over the years, however, I've come up with a basic prompt list of things that I can turn to whenever I'm not sure what to draw or not sure how to make it creative, how to really get into it. And so that's the list we're going to be going over today. Several of these ideas I got from other artists online on TikTok or Instagram, so I'll be sure to link them below if I took the idea directly from them. This is probably the most basic one on the list, and if I'm being honest, it's the one that I use the least. However, there are times when, simply drawing anything sounds good, and so you look up a prompt generator online, there's tons of them, and you just follow along what it says. The one I like the best is actually an app called Wanna Draw, because it adds a level of creativity that I personally like. The reason why I don't really like these kind of prompt generators and lists is because it feels like a lot of the time the prompts are either too big or too small. Either they'll tell you to draw this very intricate scene and they'll list all the details out for you and the emotion and whatnot, or it'll tell you to draw like a dog. And I feel like a lot of the times when I'm going to somebody else to get that inspiration, I want something that is simple and quick and easy to draw, but has a little bit more going on that will spark my creativity. This one is as straightforward as it sounds. You literally just pick an animal and pick a shape and try to fit the animal inside the shape in a way that still allows it to look like the animal. It's just a really fun way to practice like simplification and variety and shapes and whatnot. And especially if you do a lot of cartoon drawing, it can be really good to get that interesting cartoony look in your animals. And it's really easy to do. It's fun to try. Similar to that last one, this one is pretty simple and pretty straightforward, but in my opinion, it's even more fun. In this case, you're going to pick a character, which could be a person, an animal, some vague concept of humanity, and combine them with literally any object. You could take a plant and say, what would this look like if it was a person? Or what about this pig? And what would it look like as a candle? Or vice versa. The level of inspiration you choose to take is totally up to you. You could make a personified object like the furniture in Beauty and the Beast, or you could make characters that are more loosely influenced by the objects. Drawing your day out of context is not only a fun way to practice your art skills, but it's also a great little journaling exercise. Simply pick a day, it doesn't have to be today, and draw little scenes or objects that were somehow important to that day. This can be a fun way to practice with compositions and still life, and again, it's just a great way to kind of reflect back on what you've been up to. Now, this could be interpreted a couple different ways. You could draw a series like the process of a flower blooming in a pot, or you could draw a collection of flowers in pots. Pick anything and try to draw different variations of it, or draw a set of items that are different but are somehow connected, like a pencil, a ruler, and a pair of scissors. Doing this exercise can be great for practicing still life, as well as for learning new variations of objects and growing that mental reference folder. Sometimes it can be nice to rely on things we already know we love to draw, whether that be a specific object or an original character. But it's good to mix it up from time to time. Try drawing that character in a different way than you typically do. This can mean just simply using a different medium, trying out a drastically different art style, or just drawing the character with items or characteristics that they wouldn't normally have. This can help mix things up and keep your brain from going into artistic autopilot mode. For those of you who don't know, I love books. So this one is especially great if I'm in the mood for a bigger project or something that I can get really emotionally connected with. Simply go to your bookshelf, pick a book out. It'll probably be easier if you've already read it before, but that's not necessary. Flip to a random page and illustrate whatever is described there. Or if you don't like it, pick a different page. Go to a specific scene that you want to illustrate. No matter how you figure it out, this exercise is perfect for artists who are interested in illustration, to practice drawing something based on writing. And it's just a really fun exercise in my opinion. This one goes back to my childhood. My siblings and I would play this together all the time if we were stuck somewhere, bored together, like on a long car ride. The idea is that one person will draw a scribble on the paper, or a collection of little doodles, and then the other person will have to take those and make something out of it. No erasing any of the scribbles, you have to incorporate them. Now, if you don't have anyone to play with, that's okay, just loosen your wrist, maybe close your eyes, and draw something, a little scribble without having anything in mind. And then work with that. This game is great to get your creativity going, as it will push you out of drawing things in a process or style that you typically do. It'll really challenge you. If you follow any artists on social media, I'm sure you've seen this one. The idea is that your followers will give you an emoji or a set of emojis, and then you have to draw something based off of those. I really love this one because it allows an artist to directly interact with their followers, and it opens the door to a ton of creativity. I mean, think about it. There are over 3,000 emojis on a standard smartphone, and people can pick any combination of those, which means you're bound to get something cool and different every time you ask. Recently, I've been using this one a lot to inspire my frog drawings over on Instagram. Many of the frogs have been based off emojis my followers selected for me, and that just makes it easier to get right into the drawing and to spark ideas that maybe I wouldn't have come up with just on my own. This one is less of a prompt and more of an exercise, but I thought I should include it nonetheless. Especially when I'm feeling really creatively zapped, I'm just not in the right headspace to get really artsy. I find myself leaning back on my life study and anatomy skills. My favorite site to use is called Line of Action. It's got a ton of reference images, and you can set up your sessions in different ways to make it really personalized. And that's the whole list. Thank you guys for joining me here today. I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to tackle some of these challenges and prompts. I'll see you guys very soon. Have a good one.